What's up, guys? Javier here, representing the Human Values Club this week. I want to share the value of the week this week with you, which is authenticity. And our thought of the week is figure out who you are and do it on purpose. Now, this is a quote that comes to us by way of Dolly Parton, an amazing musician. And I just love this quote so much. And it definitely represents her. And I think that the story of hers that highlights this quote is, we all know the song, I Will Always Love You. And I will always love you. Well, what some people might not know is that actually is a song that was almost covered by Elvis Presley. So Elvis Presley's managers approached her, saying, "Hey, we want Elvis to cover your song, I Will Always Love You." And of course, her first reaction was, "Oh my God, that's amazing." She's a huge Elvis fan. She would have loved to have Elvis cover her song. But one stipulation of the contract, which unfortunately was common practice back then with songs that Elvis covered and many other artists as well, there was a clause in the contract that said, well, in order for Elvis to cover your song, he would need to be listed as a co-writer of the song. And that was kind of when Dolly Parton said, "You know what, I'm sorry, this is my song, and it wouldn't be authentic of me to essentially lie and say that someone else had co-written it when it was hers." So a lot of people might have said, "Well, you're crazy, it's Elvis, it's a great opportunity," but she was not willing to compromise her integrity and her authenticity for fame or money. And she stuck to her guns, and I think it's an amazing example of authenticity that she gave to us. And we all know later on, Whitney Houston covered that song in the movie The Bodyguard, went on to be another awesome hit. And Dolly Parton maintained her authenticity and her integrity, which I think is a great lesson for us all, and she's a personal hero of mine for doing that. So along with that story that hopefully inspires you as much as it inspired me, to be authentic, to be yourself. I think that's one of the questions we ask ourselves, and that's one of the journeys that we go on throughout our lives, is figuring out who we are. And sometimes to try to figure out who I am, maybe it's good for me and for us to say, well, what are we not? And I think that one thing that's very easy to get caught up on is maybe our body or our appearance. And that's something that we're anxious about a lot in this society, especially in this culture, especially. And so for one, you are not your body. Whatever you are much deeper than that. The real you is much deeper than that. If any students are watching this right now, we just finished finals. We're going to get those report cards soon. Some of us are going to be happy. Some of us might be a little worried when we see our grade. And I want to say to you, you are not your grade. Whatever it is that you truly are is much deeper than that. And I think that one of the things that is difficult about this world and about this life is that we sometimes can identify with our achievements in life or our positions in life. Oh, I am a teacher, I am a doctor, I'm a lawyer, and that's who I am. That's also not who you are. If you're asking me, I think that who you truly are is somewhere way deeper than anything that is outside of us. And I can't answer that for you, only you can answer that for you. And one thing that I would offer and ask you to practice is the act of lovingly looking inside. Lovingly looking inside and going deep within. Dial down the static, all of the noise of the world, the hurry, the worry, the busy. Find a quiet place and lovingly look inside and try to make a connection with that inner wisdom, the spirit, the heart, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes I call it humanity. It's that thing that we all have. It's that thing that connects us all. Maybe you could even call it love. And if we focus on that as being our identity, and also we see that in other people, isn't that an amazing way to be? Isn't that an amazing way to live? We have so many labels, male, straight, gay, black, white, American, European. There's so many labels, blue collar, white collar, that get assigned to us or that we assigned ourselves. And these all, I think, do nothing but create barriers. And at the Human Values Club, we're all about doing things that are going to bring people together. And when we lovingly look inside and we realize what we truly are, we realize that humanity exists in everyone, and that's something that should bring us together. So I'm asking you, let us work together to melt this illusion of separation, to break down these barriers that separate us, because we were meant to be together, we were meant to work together. And I think if we can get to that place and just when we look at each other, we see each other's humanity first before any physical appearance or any label, that will just make the world a better place. But it all starts with us figuring out who we are and then being authentic in living out that truth every single day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for listening and for watching, for sharing. Thank you for all the comments and feedback. If you guys want to leave a comment, what do you think authenticity means and how do you practice that in your life? Maybe there's some great quotes that you know, or tell me what you thought about the Dolly Parton quote. It's always wonderful to have you guys interacting with us and become part of the community, because if you're watching this, guess what? You're part of the Human Values Club. So thank you so much. We'll be excited to share another video with you guys next week, and we hope that you spend some time loving yourself and loving the world. And we'll see you next time.